quite late on a Saturday night. Of course, a lot to go through after the encounter. We are joined by the head coach of the Reggae Boyz, Coach Heimer Hallgrimsson, and also another part of the coaching staff, former national player as well, Altamont Freddie Butler as well. Before we open the questions, Coach Butler, Freddie, let me start with you. Your thoughts about the performance and what this entire camp has been the last few days with the entire group.
Well, I think the boys performed well, with 2 training sessions, and we went straight into organizing the team in terms of our defensive shape. And I think for most part, the players tonight tried their best to play with the little information that we got them in terms of organizing them defensively. I'm proud of the boys. A lot of players for the first time they play with each other, and the coaching staff is first time we're seeing some of these players. So in terms of performance, I think we did well with the little information that they got from the coaching staff.
Yes, and Freddie, as you know, you were part of the group during the Gold Cup. How did it feel to link up back again with the group in New York?
It's great. The coach is a very inclusive coach, and he wants the past players to be a part of this. And we talk all the time that I don't want to be the only one. There's a lot more players out there who has a lot of information to share with these young boys, and we like to have a lot more past players to be a part of what's going on. And it's great to be here. It's an honor to be on this side of it.
Wonderful. Sounds good. And for Coach Hallgrimsson, your thoughts as well? Anything to add to what Freddie said?
No, I think it's mutual, especially now for us to have Freddie around. He knows these players much better than we do. So it was a great help. Not only knowing kind of their quality on the pitch, but he knows them as persons much better than us. So we used him to communicate, because Freddie has been with us in the Gold Cup, so he knows what we want. So he has been a huge help in this camp. About the game, I agree with what Freddie said. It was maybe not the most kind of exciting match. There was not a lot of goal scoring chances, and I think we need to give our players credit for that, because Guatemala is they're a quick team. They are good in counter pressing, and we know it from the Gold Cup. We struggled a lot against them with their high intensity football. So yeah, we can be quite happy, even though we didn't create a lot of goal scoring chances ourselves.
All right, thank you very much, coaches. We appreciate that. Now we'll open the floor for questions. So, folks, we kindly ask them you raise your hand, and I will call on you to ask your question, whether to Coach Hallgrimsson or also to Coach Butler as well. Okay, let's start with Jamaica Observer Rashid Parchment. You may go ahead.
Yes, good evening, coaches. Let's look at the matches that you have played where you have rotated the squad and tried to give other players a chance. We think about Trinidad and Tobago, those 2 games. We think about Qatar. We think about Jordan and this game tonight. One of the criticisms against you, coach, is that you don't give local players enough of an opportunity. But the truth is, you have given them some chances. They have gotten the chances in those games I've mentioned, and the results haven't quite gone the way you wanted. Even yesterday, you said that it is important to win because it also helps them to showcase themselves, and it gives them an impetus to work their way into the more competitive matches. However, as I said, the results haven't gone that way. How difficult is it to balance what you try to do with the competitive games and those games where you give the players the chances, but it just doesn't go as you would have liked?
Wow, it was a strange question. You started to talk about the local players, and I just don't see it this way. I think too many people are occupied or too much focused on where the players come from. For me, it's all Jamaicans. For me, it's all Jamaican national team players, and I don't care where they come from. They can come from Jamaica, they can be playing, like most of these players today were playing in US or USL or MLS. I don't look at it where they come from when we select the team. Of course, we have said January is where we focus on the domestic players. This game was more or less to show and to look at the players playing in US. So we prioritize. This game was also, we want to spend as little money on this one. So it was, the best thing was to pick players from close to this arena or in US, not to travel players from, for example, England or somewhere else. So we focused on from players from the US. But it's just the games are different. The games are different. Some games we use to look at players and give them a chance to show us what they can do. Other games, of course, and especially the international official matches, are games that we want to focus on winning. So yeah, the balance is no problem if we plan it properly. So in this case, we wanted to see these players and to see what they could provide for us and show what they can do. So I don't know if I answered this question correctly, but the question was a little bit about everything.
All right. Thank you very much, Rashid. Let's go to Lennox Aldred.
Hi, Coach. How are you doing? Quick question. Those stoppage time substitutions. What can you kind of give me some clarity on that? I mean, what are you looking to see anything out of the players in that short time, or you'll probably give them another chance somewhere down the line again?
Yeah, it was maybe more to give them a cup in the last 2-3 minutes, or also just to refresh a little bit our team. Some players were tired in the end, but it was a delicate time. So of course you don't judge a player on 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
All right, thank you very much. Let's now go to Eddie Vision. Eddie, you can go ahead. All right, somebody else can.
Yes.
Go
Sorry
ahead,
about
Eddie.
that. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah. Congrats, coach, on getting a result. We noticed that you played 4 players from the switchback team. Considering it was a makeshift team overall, was it always a plan to play those 4 players, considering that they play together in the USL?
No, not really. Not really. We wanted to see some players play, and we just couldn't give everyone a chance. Of course, it would have been ideal to give everyone at least a half a game, but you cannot do that. So we didn't use maybe all our substitutions, but we thought we wanted to have at least a control on the game and didn't want to rotate too much. But no, it was not the plan to play players from the switchbacks. No.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Let's now go to Shaban Peart.
Very good. Good night, everyone. You hear me, Simon?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I can hear you.
Hi, Coach. Good night, and congrats for the result tonight. I know this situation wasn't ideal, the game itself. However, I saw some positives in it. I saw a few players really stamped their class and would have said that, hey, I may have staked a claim to want to be in the first team. I just wanted to think, one player in particular, Bell. It's kind of ironic that he's similar to Omari as well. But for me, he played an awesome game. I just wanted to, what was your thoughts on his performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought he played well. This is the first time we have him in our camp. I think this was his first national team call-up. And considering that, yeah, he did well. And that was one position that we were in doubt if we should start with Rochester or start with him. So we decided before the game that they would get 45 minutes each. And that was kind of didn't matter how they performed, because we were excited to see both of them. Maybe Freddie, if you would talk about him more, so I involve you in the talk.
Yeah, for the 2 training sessions, both of them did well. So it was a tough decision, tough choice to see who would start the game. So we decided to start Bell, and like the coach said, we had decided before the start of the game that they will both have 45 minutes each. And even though Bell was playing a very good game, then we had to make a substitution.
All right, let's go to Rashid again with your second question.
Yeah, this question is for Freddie. As a former striker yourself, what kind of messages do you send to the strikers up front about their composure in front of goal, not lashing the shots and knowing when to pull the trigger? As a coach, what kind of messages do you send them?
Funny, we did a bit of finishing yesterday, but goals are hard to come by, so we just have to be a little bit more composed around the box and just relax and just remember that the target never move, and then just try to put the ball in the net.
All right, do we have any more questions within the chat? Please indicate. We can accommodate one more this evening. It's an early flight for the staff and also players as well tomorrow. Some en route back to the island, so we can accommodate one more question if we have. If not, then that will conclude. Yes, go ahead. We'll take one from Eddie. So we'll take one more from Eddie Vision.
Yes, coach. I know it's a little bit annoying, considering that we have a big Nation League game coming up against Canada. But was this game planned?
Not by the coaching staff. No, it was a decision to play this game. That was taken from the federation more than from us a request. And so we have planned the year, and we want to spend January to focus on these players, the fringe players, the young players, the domestic players. So we want to, because it's kind of unfair as well when players are trying to prove a point that they should play in the national team, to only give them two trainings and one match. So you want to spend more time on the pitch and give them more playing time when you are looking at players and giving them a chance. So it was good. It was good to get to know them. There was some really good characters, good guys in general. So we know more about them. That is a good thing. But considering the importance of the Canadian matches, I think that this was a focused distraction for us, the staff, the coaches, when we should be focusing fully on these two important Canada matches. So it was not our favorite to play this at this time. But then again, when we go again in January, we know a little bit more about these players. So in the end, it's a good thing that we did it. Even though I think always that we should, when we have important matches, we should put full focus on that one.
All right. Thank you very much, Eddie. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat. We appreciate it. And thank you for your patience as well for this evening's post-match press conference. Tomorrow, being Sunday, that's when the squad for the Canada games will be announced. So stay tuned for further updates on that and when it'll be announced. So have a pleasant evening, everybody, and we'll be in touch for more updates.